players, to answer the question directly, that we're looking for is that we're trying to compete for a national championship each and every year. So we're trying to get the best available 4-star kid that may have a grade issue or something like that, or the best available 3-star kid, or the best available kid that could come in and help us win a championship. So that's still the thing, and the brand that we're looking for is the best player that can come in and help us win a national championship.
Now, Coach, is the out-of-state player issue, is that an East Coast only type of thing? Because some other schools can get anybody from everywhere. Is that like the conference you guys play, or who determines whether or not you're allowed to have a certain number of out-of-state players?
Well, that's our MAC conference. That's one of our rules that's implemented by that.
Got it. Makes sense. I mean, yeah, because it's it's the same with, roster limits in Division III, right? Like certain conferences, you can only have a certain number of guys on your roster at the start of the season, whereas others can have unlimited. So that kind of puts you in somewhat of a bind. What's the benefit of being in an actual, JUCO conference in regards to some of these other schools that can go and get other guys? Is it a scheduling thing?
I think it's kind of what it boils down to is when you're trying to compete for a national championship at a national level. I think the benefits of being in a conference, especially one like the MAC, in Mississippi, the Mississippi Junior College ranking, which is my opinion, is one of the toughest conferences. And we joke around and say it's the SEC of JUCO, and because year in and year out, you're gonna have some of your better teams that's gonna represent on a national level. And so I think the benefits of having a conference like that, it shows people when the committee starts to pick the top 4 teams at the end of the year, like, hey, these guys are playing quality people week in and week out. It's not that they're in this independent conference and they're playing somebody that's not as challenging, but each week they're playing somebody in their conference that could beat you at any week. And it's, like I said, it's very talented teams.
And that conference traditionally had sent so many players to the SEC and obviously a ton of players to the Mississippi schools throughout the years. And that's been one of the huge benefits of that JUCO system. And you guys also have scholarships too as well, right? So that's one of the things that it makes it unique. Are you guys able to give scholarships at the JUCO level there?
Yeah, correct. We are.
And so
that's huge, because most JUCO ain't doing that. You know what I mean?
California system is like, I think, financial aid only, right? And that's what makes the Mississippi system different than places like the California system, where you have to go off of only financial aid, and here you get athletic scholarships.
Right, and obviously more of an appeal for guys, right? Because most of these guys, that's a huge piece of that puzzle. And now all of a sudden, hey, I can still go to a JUCO and get a scholarship, whereas most of these guys, someone's got to front that bill, even if it's 1-2 years, right? I mean, you're still paying money out of your pocket, and a lot of the players, or the better players, they just don't have that, and that's not part of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I have friends, like I've never coached in the California League, so I can't really speak in details on exactly what it's like. But I do have friends that play ball with me at Southern Miss that coach out in the junior college rankings out in California, and I know some of those schools out there don't have the ability to fully fund kids. Like I said, year in and year out.
And that's a totally unique thing. I think the Kansas system probably also does that right as well, similar to what the Mississippi system.
It's definitely not the norm, I'll tell you that much.
No, yeah, I think Kansas might. That's why a lot of those the Mississippi system and the Kansas system traditionally have had, like, you've seen the type of players that have come out of there are just unbelievable, and it's because of the ability to fund them. Obviously, always the most difficult thing with JUCO is a lot of JUCOs are in small towns, right? And they're the biggest thing. They're the biggest thing in their small town, just like in
they're the draw,
right? So that's always probably from a recruiting standpoint the biggest thing that you guys always have to do, because of it's not as big a college campus as if they go to Mississippi, Ole Miss, or Mississippi State, or any other big SEC school. So that's one of the things that a lot of those athletes have to get used to. Talk about the things that you have to do as a defensive coordinator, that go on above what you have to do from a defensive job standpoint. Some of the other roles and hats that you have to wear as a JUCO coach to really help your players.
It's real similar to being a high school coach in a lot of ways. I think that you get the best of both worlds coaching in the JUCO ring. You get the ability to do a lot of things that the college football ring allows you to do, but you also have a lot of similarities that tie back to high school because you don't have the support staff. So you still gonna have to take kids to the store and buy them stuff to eat and things of that nature. You still gonna have to